Buffaloes, and welcome to another edition of Herd Highlights. Today we're here with McAlester High School English teacher, Miss Rachel Morris, and we're excited to announce and discuss an accomplishment of hers in a national board certification. So we're going to ask you a few questions. Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your teaching background?
Sure. So I started teaching 18 years ago. This is my 18th year of teaching, and I've been in McAlester for 14 of those years. My bachelor's and master's are both in special education, but I'm also certified in English, and so I've been teaching anything from 9th to 12th grade English during those 18 years. And then I live just up the road in Eufaula, but I come here every day and love teaching here at McAlester.
And how many times have you been a finalist for Teacher of the Year? And how many times have you been Teacher of the Year?
I have been a finalist twice, and I have been fortunate enough to win twice.
Okay. The next question we have is, what inspired you to pursue this National Board Certification Program?
So in 2022, I went over to Wilburton to an informational meeting by a national board teacher there. They set up national board in Oklahoma by region, and so that was the closest regional meeting that I could attend. One of the reasons that I chose it was that it's very self-directed. I think I've always kind of felt a little bit like a phony teaching English just because my background was in special education, and one of my college professors put it that as a special education teacher, you are a master of learning, but maybe not a master of all content. And so when I decided to pursue National Board, I thought, if I can become certified in English through National Board certification, then I don't think I'll feel like a phony teaching English anymore. And I love English, and I love the idea of just being able to choose what I want to show competency in and choose kind of my own adventure with National Board. It's very self-directed and self-reflective, and that was one of the reasons why I thought this is what I want to pursue.
How long did the process take?
So in Oklahoma, you have up to 5 years to certify. It took me a year and a half, I guess, is the time that I spent doing it. And you have to attempt all 4 components within the first 3 years. And so I did 2 components the first year that I was pursuing it, or the first 6 months, I guess, I was pursuing it. And then I did the last 2 components over the last school year.
And how do you hope your certification will benefit your students, colleagues, and the school community?
So for students, I just hope that they recognize that I'm still a lifelong learner, and hopefully that kind of blends into their lives too. It's been really fun to share that with my students and to kind of tell them about achieving National Board certification, and I have to have student permission slips any year that I'm going to work with students for National Board, and so explaining the process to them at the beginning. The first year I did it, one of the components I had to take a multiple choice test and constructed response test, and so it's the component that weighs the most. It's 40%. So I was preparing for an end of the year exam just like they were, so that was kind of a fun time to kind of practice studying with them and kind of sharing that this is what I'm doing as well. And so I hope it just kind of inspires them to continue learning even after they graduate, that it's not something that should ever stop. As far as the other teachers in the school community, teachers are amazing. It's just the most inspiring profession, I think. It's the ones that can have the most impact on students. And so I hope that for other teachers in the school community that they understand that we have a responsibility to elevate this profession and to give our best to students and kind of show them, we should always be learning and always be striving after goals and really just elevating our craft as much as we can.
And final question.
Okay.
What's next for you now that you've achieved this milestone?
Celebrate for a little while. And then one of the great things about National Board, and I know some people will be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that, but it's only good for 5 years. And I actually love that because it's one of those where you're always going to have to keep striving if you want to keep this certification. And so in about 4 years, I'll pick back up and work for maintenance of certification. But for now, just kind of enjoy it and apply the things that I've learned in my classroom. One of the components was videoing myself teaching, and then having to analyze and reflect on that. So that was pretty humbling, honestly. And so that's really kind of changed some of the ways that I teach in class, and hope that it comes through to my students too.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you
We're
so much.
happy for you, and we hope that you can help others in their experience and their journey if they ever decide that they want to
Yes.
take this big step in the
Absolutely.
next
I would love to help anybody that's currently working on it or is thinking about it. Just reach out. I would be excited to help along the way.